Welcome back, everybody, to the PGL Major. We're here in Bucharest. This is the secondary stream, and we just played a, I think, fantastic opening game here on Overpass, and hopefully we get the same treatment in this second matchup. We're going to be seeing paiN Gaming playing against what were the finalists of the last major. Avangard, now Virtus Pro. Of course, we've got, as we were talking about in earlier in the pregame, we talked about how Sanji's gone. We've got
Where's
Flip
Sanji, guys?
Instead,
Where's Sanji?
but they're
Where
the
is he?
favorites. They should be more clear cut.
Where's Sanji then?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why they did that to us.
I picked paiN Gaming for this because
Why did you do that?
Because flipping VP are on some bullshit getting rid of Sanji. I don't know what else to say.
It's just a spite. So you're willing, as a self-proclaimed king of pick'ems, to jeopardize your status and one of the hardest majors to call for pick'ems. You're willing to throw that one out there.
Are you surprised?
Just for the I mean,
Absolutely.
for the moral injustice.
No, but
It's your protest.
But okay, so paiN Gaming have got some good numbers on their maps. The question is, what level of opponent are those numbers against? And again, like a team of Jamon is going to definitely have their own style. I think a Sanji era Virtus Pro had one of the most unique styles in the game. So so there's a question of people say styles make fights, to use an MMA term. I don't know if paiN Gaming are going to be, with all the recent experience they've had versus local competition, if the style of VP will be enough to take VP over the line. Again, it's best of one territory. I think that there's a chance. It's a gamble pick. It's a gamble pick, okay? Because again, there are so many unknowns coming into this major because of the limitations from COVID and so on. We can see that we will be heading towards Inferno, which is 22% for paiN Gaming with 9 maps played and 50% for Virtus Pro. So again, very interesting. Let's see. paiN vetoed Mirage, Overpass, and Vertigo, which is interesting.
That's really interesting because, I was expecting this to go to Vertigo because that's like statistically the closest for both teams. So you would have expected that to be left open. So it's surprising that we get the Inferno, but the Inferno, obviously, is such a classic choice. Everybody can play Inferno. It has not really changed at all. Over the many years, it's pretty similar. Astralis were the team that did probably still the last major innovations on this map, and things haven't really changed all that much. It's a battle of the fundamentals, ultimately.
So 22% with 9 maps played for paiN Gaming and 50% with 6 maps played for Virtus Pro. I think the story there really is the paiN Gaming sample size. That's pretty bad, but again, they might get away with something stylistically. So let's see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what paiN Gaming have in store to try and figure out a way to defeat what is definitely on paper a superior team, and a team that's got a lot more experience, especially at this level of competition. Again, this lineup, the core of this lineup played at the last major and played in the finals. Of course, they were not able to win, but that was also like a major whereby they were kind of the team that had come up, and stylistically, there was a lot to them that they were doing differently to other teams. And people, I think, since then have really figured out their approach to the game. So I would not expect it to be like impossible for paiN Gaming, but it's certainly going to be quite difficult.
I think Inferno is a good battleground for an underdog team in a best of one. Like if you look at Jamon Dust 2, for example, right? I think it's going to be really tough if this matchup was on a Dust 2. With how he plays to try and deal with that. But for an Inferno, there's a lot of closer ranges with the AWP. So I think that maybe they can do something with this. Maybe. There's a lot of maybes here. But we haven't even, we got a play highlight for Kika here, but we haven't even talked about Flit, the new man on the team. We see a lot of roster changes with teams, like historically where, take FaZe, for example. Roster changes with FaZe where a new guy comes in and he's like, take these roles, and everything's the same, and they have the same problems. No one's going to play a Sanji role, but that's the interesting thing. The change was so late in the game that you can't expect Flit to play like Sanji. right? So you're going to have to play well, not a completely different style, but like everything that Sanji does is just not going to happen, I would expect, anymore. And again, so few days before the major, they make this change. Like, how much time do you have to even practice? They may have to just like play some kind of like loose default, which will be quite interesting to see if that works or not.
Yeah, it was interesting before because, as you say, Sanji, he had created a style that made sense for the way the team played the game, and the way that previously Avangard played the game was so stylized around setting up Jame and pumping resources into Jame. So the other end of the spectrum, the guy that gets all of the L's and has to deal with them is Sanji, and that's like, and so he made this style where he's this massive utility player. He's going to have maybe a smoke and an MP9 on a full buy round, and he's going to have to anchor an entire site by himself. And that was just like, he had to figure that out. And so it's really interesting to see that, because sure, there's probably other players that can do that with enough practice, but Sanji was the guy that kind of made that really look very good, and he's part of the reason why they were so strong, because yeah, you're pumping all the resources into Jame, but Sanji's getting way more value out of his desperate position than you could ever expect. So that dynamic was really fun to watch. I mean, that's why we became fans. It's like, how does he get this much out of this? It's like this much out of like this. It's crazy. But as you say, like this split coming into the team, this could be a stylistic change that maybe that benefits them in this tournament.
Yeah, it has to be, and sometimes change is good, man. Like we've seen separation before. We've had a good player leave a good team, and they just needed that. Like the player needed something different to succeed, and the team needed something different to succeed. Like you, especially with the sheer amount of CS which is being played in this saturated environment in terms of the annual calendar. Your plays are going to get old, so you know, begrudgingly, maybe. I mean, I'm sure it's the right move for everybody, even though it kind of sucks for Sanji. But let's see. Wish him all the luck in the future of his career. But we'll focus on the existing team now. So Virtus.pro will be starting on the T side, as we can see. 5 Glocks on road, and we've got some utility on Fliss and Jame, and a lot of Kevlar.
Yeah, and already Yekindar able to get that an opening pick. The trade comes through, but 4 versus 4, and options for Virtus.pro to slow down the round if they would like to at this point and see what the response is from the CTs. And yeah, that is effectively what is happening right here for Virtus.pro, just edging their way around, seeing is there any information plays coming through. Flashbang to suggest presence towards A to delay that A rotation to help B. And B is I mean, it's going to be tough to hold this site right now. Sorry, the A site.
Welcome back to the HUD. This is a super clean HUD. I quite like it. Hardzao is blind and needs to try and avoid that Molotov, but that forces him into the open, into the reticle of many a player. Well, the bomb's made it to the bomb site at the very least, and the CT's now looking to try and stop the plant from happening, but that has become more and more difficult. 3 of them now in that short position. 3 versus 3 retake. Bigazera has a defuse kit, but it's going to be pretty hard to avoid a crossfire here.
Yeah, very difficult indeed. James just trying to buy time, occupying as much attention as possible, and everybody's set up for success there. Great connections from Virtus.pro, and they'll get that very important opening pistol.
Our first Inferno of the major.
Yeah. Yeah, Inferno. I mean, yeah,
it's
on a
classic.
major. It is a classic. So many important moments on this map throughout history.
Yeah.
I think the Boston Major, one of the biggest. And we get the rush down mid from paiN Gaming. Force buy, and it's going to work out. Opening kills, finding the bomb. Very scary stuff here. Hardzao able to hold things down here in the apartments as well. And very little working out in a favor of Virtus.pro despite having the 4 buy. That is actually maybe the most successful CT force buy I think I've ever seen. That is just rushing down mid. No one died. They all got to upgrade their weapons. This is of course the best possible scenario economically, where you lose the pistol, you force buy and win that, but not only do you win that, you lose no players and you get to upgrade all of those crappy guns you just bought in the previous round. So man, paiN Gaming couldn't ask for a better start to this one.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid start for them after all. I'm still on the M4A4 because I'm better with it than I am with the Silence M4. Therefore, I will use it.
It's really just about the skins. That's where the major advantage comes into play.
All my Kato stickers are on my Hot Rod Silenced M4, so I would love to be better with that, but sadly, I have to use my plain Jane.
Yeah.
Instead.
You know, it's Valve have really done a number on everyone in CS because, you know, this is not, it's marketed not as a pay-to-win game, but really the truth is this is a pay-to-win game. It's all about the skins.
I think about the colors as well. You need red. Red is a good color for skins. I've got red loadout on CT side and green loadout on the T side, which is very pricey. Well, we've got 45 seconds on the clock, and where is Yakindar going? I think he's lost. Kika taking some nade damage. The bomb still in the hands of virtus.pro, but this is looking a little rough, a little ropey. Like a petrol station microwave curry or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like going into... I remember we would walk around London late at night when we were doing the super late night Face It games, and you'd find like a convenience store, and they'd have like these... the 5 AM sausage rolls there. I'm like looking at that, I'm like, who's eating that?
Yeah, I ain't hearing that.
Who's eating that? How desperate do you have to be? I guess how drunk do you have to be? I guess it's correlative. It looks better the more drunk you are, but...
So, question, right? Do you think... Yes, I'm still salty. Do you think Yakindar was trying to be Sanji in that round? Just running arse first through a smoke and then dying.
I want to believe that he wouldn't think that being Sanji is a realistic goal. There is only one Sanji. Make your own legacy. Make your own story.
Yeah, Yakindar. Eco Town for virtus.pro. A false start, perhaps, on Inferno, but we are in the early stages. If you're going to mess something up, you want it to be at the beginning of the game, because then you've got the most time to fix your problems, to... He's not seeing much of anything, but that's not a guarantee of a B play, so they've really got to be careful.
Yeah, it's getting scary at this point. You know, a lot of time is being bled. We'll see what they can do to try to recover the scenario, though. PGL looking for that first movement. Maybe VP are leaving this a little bit too late. They are really running low on time. They are finally creeping toward the site. PKL in a really bad spot. He has to pick one side to fight. He chooses that porch side. Not going to work out in his favor. hardzao on the site with the spray, doing what he has to try to win this round.
Oh.
But that bomb is going to be going down here. Buster, just enough time thanks to James saving the day. But now it's all on James, and there is simply too much to handle. Very scary round, though, given what VP were holding on to.
Yeah, they did get a fair amount out of that, at least, virtus.pro, so that is a plus for them. Just delaying the defuse while they collect every little piece of utility they can, grenades, pistols, everything, all the upgrades they can do. So just that bomb timer. The yellow timer tells you how much time is left on the bomb before it explodes. And of course the blue timer is the CTs defusing the bomb, and how much time they have left dependent on whether they have a kit or not.
So the perfect start really from paiN Gaming. You couldn't ask for anything better. So your prediction might be on the money, and I feel confident saying you're probably the only talent that would have predicted paiN to win this matchup. And it's a spite pick as well, so that's really interesting how that might work out for you. But we're going to get the banana control coming through here, that initial exchange of utility. you want to be the team that kind of sets the precedence there first and wins that control. But a very fast adjustment up into mid, working out. They detect there's 3 players on that banana position, and they exploit that perfect counterplay from VP. But can they close down side control?
Yeah, they've got long for the time being. I'm not sure if there's a smoke on library. Nekkers is being waited for. Kiko's got the angle. So now there are more options available, and James, oh my god, he just knows all the angles. AWP versus AWP, no mistakes being made there. harzao needs a multi-frag, gets 2, but there's still a man advantage here for Virtus Pro, and they have position on long. PKL with the off angle, does Yakinda hold all the way? He does, and he is rewarded, leaving biggazera in a 1 versus 3. This is the thing about Virtus Pro. And the experience, and a player like James, he knows all the angles, all the off angles where you might try and catch a player swinging in. He's ready for them, and he has a superior angle of his own.
Yeah, Yakinda as well, like the way that he abused the right eye and sort of that geometric distance advantage there. You know, that's just the stuff at the professional level that makes all of the difference. And actually, you know, when you start looking at the game in that sense, okay, understanding the right eye versus left eye, and also the geometric distance advantage, you start to really understand how you're supposed to move, like what's a good angle. And there are some spots where you just have to play, like, sometimes you just have to play a bad spot.
For any new viewers, Dan,
yes.
What is the right eye peak?
So the camera in the models of the players is slightly to the right. So if you're swinging out with your right eye first, and the other player has a left eye peak, then you're actually going to see more of them than they would see of you. So you get that extra tiny advantage. And in some cases, you might, if they're just sitting in a corner, you might actually see them and they can't see you at all.
Yeah.
So
if you're like equidistant from a corner, like that yellow corner, for example, then the person peeking from the right eye will have the advantage.
Yeah, it's a very big thing in CS, and same thing with that distance advantage. It's like the same thing as James is saying. If you're closer to the angle, you have more of a disadvantage than if you're further away. If you're further away, you'll see more of the opponent's player model. So you have to have that player model awareness based on angles, and that takes a lot of playing to kind of generate that. But you know, getting back into this round, of course, it's a full buy. We've got that 3-2 scoreline for paiN, but Virtus Pro taking that initial banana control. I like this from paiN Gaming, James. They haven't invested too much early on here in control, which signals to me that they'll be ready for a mid-round info play or a retake on banana should they choose.
This is going to be a long rotation for paiN Gaming. Buster's going to go through that smoke, and that can give his team the confidence to go in behind him as well. 2 for Buster, and that's the round over. Safi immediately turns around, heads towards the A bomb site. So paiN Gaming will have to hold on to the rest, and maybe, well, I think that I wouldn't be surprised here if Virtus Pro became firmly in the driving seat after this round.
First oranges, actually. One player can throw both the smoke and the molly from the same spot. And it allows you to kind of retake that top banana position for very cheap. But they opted to go passive, so maybe they'll change that in the following gun rounds here. But Virtus Pro, they equalize, as you say, James. They're in a spot to start dominating. We'll see if they can win this banana battle.
Safe or Safi, I wonder. I'll go with Safi because that makes the most sense based on the spelling. It's a good start for paiN Gaming. Trying to hold the top of banana. Only one player towards the A bomb site. Now, have they read this? Because harzao, it's going to be hard for him to survive in this situation, trying to avoid the flashes. PKL's actually above him, excuse me. Could only see one on the radar, but it is, of course, a boost. So Not one, but two, and it goes from good to great for paiN Gaming. Exactly the kind of round they needed, and I can only imagine what the chat are going to start typing now, as James is the last man standing for Virtus.pro, and we have a minute on the clock.
Yeah, and it's really cool as well, because this is one of those rounds where, you know, Virtus.pro are really trying to test things. They really want to win that banana control, but as we could see, the setup that was strong. It's actually a committed 3-player setup from paiN Gaming. And so you'd expect, okay, well then the weakness is on A. We saw already that VP exploited that in a previous round. They noticed that there were so many nades on banana that they could get a timing up onto the A site by going up arch side. But in this instance, that's kind of the same situation, but paiN Gaming are just happy to have a 2-man setup on top of Porch. So really great that paiN Gaming were able to funnel Virtus.pro into thinking that that mid option would be good for them in that round, and that's going to break the, break the what could have been some momentum for Virtus.pro. So what's the play now, James? Like paiN Gaming, do they keep playing half a banana? Like I would expect that they play any 2 towards banana at this point, and go back to 3 towards A, but they're sticking to their guns here with this 3 on banana approach. They really want to win that control early.
Oh man, exacting revenge is James Kika trying to make things better, but PGL will hold down the banana position, and there's a fast rotate back towards A for Nekkers, as hardzewoo this time is indeed. No, he's not actually. He's not on his. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So the minimap is a little buggy at present, but that's all right. It's day 1. Yep. It's pretty much tradition at this point to have some tech issues on day 1 of a major, but we'll get there. They're being fixed very quickly, so props for that.
Absolutely, and I mean, this is an interesting spot here in this round, because we get the noise just gets completely cut here by Virtus.pro, and all of the positioning. I mean, this is a standard thing, right? You got the AWP here. PGL, I don't believe he has anything except that HE, so no flashbangs or smokes, but the AWP is enough to delay the attack, and that's going to send one player towards that B site on the rotation. Virtus.pro have the option to go back to A now. You can expect that the A site would have had, one player would be removed from that site now. So
what's interesting though is, what is Virtus.pro's read of the AWP being on a B bomb site with 4 players alive? Do they expect it to be a 3-1 setup? And paiN Gaming maybe have to think about what their opponent is reading as well. We saw Safi rotating towards the B bomb site earlier on, but now he's headed back, and PGL is in a lot of trouble. Oh, he could get a lineup here, but he misses the flick entirely, and I think that's the round. Maybe they could try to rescue the AWP in the smoke if they were so daring to do so, but other than that, well, 3v4, they'll fish for something. Bomb has been planted, time was running low, and maybe that made them gravitate towards, but they haven't all done so. hardzewoo just making sure there's no flank, but also giving them some room to fall back and save these weapons. So this one will slip away from paiN Gaming as Virtus.pro tie the score.
Yeah, and you could say that there were 2 options there for paiN Gaming in that scenario. I think Virtus.pro have done a really good job of obscuring what they're doing. Again, that key pressure, sign of pressure towards the banana position, forcing the AWP back, and then suddenly paiN Gaming don't have the info. So they either have to play the 1-3 or play a 2-2. I mean, they could, in theory, stack towards B as well. I guess that would have been an option, but the most common options there are going to be keep the AWP on B and expect that that's just a fake towards banana, and that really VP are going towards A. You have to play those mind games, and paiN Gaming took the gamble. Instead of going 2 to a site when you're unsure, a lot of teams do that because you can play both sites quite well with 2 players. They gamble and it doesn't pay off, but they do get to save more guns because of it. So we'll see how that works out now.
(3-2) set up on this round for paiN Gaming. They take presence on short once again. And Virtus.pro very quickly up towards banana, but what do they make of this? Oh, well, there's the pop flash, but they've already fallen back through the smoke, and there will be a continued exchange of utility as Virtus.pro re-emerge again, making sure paiN Gaming don't try to take banana away from them again. Possession of banana so early is really, really strong, and they'll deploy some grenades to try and deplete the utility of paiN Gaming. As you can see, there is no push from Virtus.pro through these grenades, they'll exchange some utility to different players for later on, which is one advantage of the grenade dropping scenario now. But they've got a minute to play with as paiN Gaming try to figure out what to do.
Yeah, it's that uncomfortable position where you don't have the information. virtus.pro, they take that initial control. You don't know where they're going. Normally, you'd want to try to find some info out, but at this point for paiN Gaming, it feels too risky. They don't really seem to have a setup. They've got the AWP on Safi, and they are willing to just hold in this kind of 2-1-2 kind of formation. We already saw how good virtus.pro's execution is on these B-site set pieces. Looks like there might be a bit more readiness here, though, for paiN Gaming to receive this one as it begins to come through. And indeed, slowing things down, taking the fight to the choke point here. Nice line up there. Nekis able to do massive damage with that AK-47. And this push has been totally stuffed by that defense from paiN Gaming.
Now, last time Jane wasn't able to save the AWP, but we can see how important it is. With the early entry, he was able to get on the round prior, but down he goes again. And this time, well, Yukindar's got the $5,000, so we'll see if they choose to do something a little risky. He'll pull out the AK-47, so it looks like they will go for it. Flitz will buy the AK as well. No Sanji, no AWP drop.
I would love
Brave New World.
I was just going to say, I would love to see Safi pushing apartments or something with the AWP. Like, something like that in the next buy round would be really cool. Because I think virtus.pro are in a weird spot now, James, because they've been trying to focus on this banana control, and it's yielding inconsistent results for them. So I feel like going to a more asymmetric default at the beginning might be what we'll start to see. Then they play banana in the mid rounds.
Those paiN Gaming hollows look great on the hot rod. That's a pretty nice setup for them. And this might be a nice setup as well with the AWP in the apartments, but a double peek seems like it might be on the way. Flit being very, very patient. He's got Yukindar as well, and I think double peek is coming through now. Oh, Yukindar from the off angle!
Yes.
That was so fast! My God.
Yeah, and he peeks first. He actually has the right eye peek there as well. His teammate would have that left. And you're on a left eye peek from the AWPer's perspective. So it's actually quite a bad angle for the AWPer. It's quite situational, and that's a perfect way to abuse it. What a beautiful way to stagger the peaks. Great execution. paiN Gaming in a really bad spot now. They've got two players towards A. Big Zera is like in CT spawn, not knowing precisely where to go right now. Going towards that B site. They're actually leaving PKL by himself.
Yeah, he's dead, mate. He's a goner. He dead. Oh. He can't see. He is super dead. Zip him up. Throw him in the sea.
Unfortunate for paiN Gaming there. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, virtus.pro. Just keep tying that score. They're not giving this one up that easily. Yep.
And maybe, you know, you could make the argument. I mean, it's always difficult. You know, again, you don't want to be Mr. Hindsight Analyst, but you know, I wonder if paiN Gaming are feeling like they should be taking more initiative there. Because actually, in this matchup so far, when they've taken initiative, they generally tend to have good results so far. And when they play passively and give space for virtus.pro, virtus.pro kind of get time to set up what they want for various map control takes. And they're very comfortable at doing that when left to their own devices. 3 weapons are saved, but the AWP not saved for paiN Gaming. It's going to have to be purchased. It's an expensive one. And I wanted to see an aggressive apartments play with the AWP, so we'll see if I get that. Or if Safi goes aggressive somewhere else. I want to see him get in there early on. That would be really fun to see. Maybe easier said than done, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to see his number on the radar.
Yeah, it's obscured.
He's underneath one of them. There we go. In that short position now.
Maybe they're expecting a rush towards that A site. They're not wrong. And there goes the push. Oh, immediate kill onto PKL. What an entry.
Yeah, and this is good experience for virtus.pro as well. Let's not forget with their new roster. figuring things out as they go along. Does he survive? He does somehow. Makes it out of there with 9 HP. Big Azera in the middle of mid now, pushing through from B, and there goes the bomb. There goes James. Nykytilan finds himself alone now. Flanks on flanks, rotations on rotations, but I don't know what there is for him to do here with 13 hit points, health points, whichever you prefer. It's all the same, really.
The tendencies from paiN Gaming are really interesting. We'll talk about that in a moment. We'll see if Nykytilan can do something from this position. He's looking for damage, take some money out of the hands, but not going to happen. But yeah, I was just going to make the point quickly, James, that it seems like when Virtus.pro try to go for hits onto A, the banana defenders for paiN Gaming, they're really quick to just push fully.
Yeah.
And that's actually teams. You could exploit that if you're Virtus.pro by just holding for that push. And they did that in a previous round, and it worked. It like gave them a kill, and they were able to win the round off of it. So it's quite risky what paiN are doing, but in that case, obviously, it just won them that last round. So it's hard to read. Yeah,
it's a gamble, but the number of rounds they need to gamble on is becoming shorter as we reach round number 12. Buster and Keycut on pistols, AK-47s for the rest. And they head towards the apartments once again. Rather than hold the angle, hardzao will try to jiggle with a smoke up. Nykytilan won't respect it. Plenty of spray, but a smoke is a smoke, and it will limit what they can do early. Looking at the utility, Buster's got 2 flashes, so I don't know if they were considering a balcony burst there, but as their presence has been spotted, they may opt for something else. Well, they've got a minute on the clock. Options are still open.
And I just love how paiN Gaming, again, just like changing up their pace. In some of these rounds, though, where they give VP all this space when they have a lower buy, it hasn't necessarily paid off for paiN Gaming, but we'll see if this is a different story. We'll get VP working on that top mid control. They've got it. The information is there for paiN Gaming at this point, but holding formation for now.
Deep molly into the pit. The smoke is here, though. Oh, PK. How did Nykytilan miss that one? Buster's here to trade at least and take position. Now they know hardzao is creeping behind the smoke, but how long can he stay alive for? He needs help, and help is on the way. AWP firing off now for paiN Gaming. James still on short with the bomb. Another molly is going to try and force hardzao forward, but he will do that and take down Flit at the very least. There goes the bomb looking for the transfer. 1 versus 2. Buster 13 HP, and it will be 7 rounds for paiN Gaming as AWP fires off again. Well, there we go. They start to pull away now, finally, because every time Virtus.pro lost around, they kind of traded back and tied the score again, but not this time.
Yeah, massive credit to hardzao. He's been playing really well in some of these positions. Having to survive in that spot that he was in, smoked out in pit. I mean, he did it. He did exactly what he had to do. It's very hard to stay alive for so long, and that created too many problems for Virtus.pro. And indeed, paiN Gaming looking fantastic right now. Safi was looking to perhaps take a peek in mid, thinks better of it. Choke point will be smoked off. Banana the only available choke point. Nice shot from Nykytilan. Can't find the gun yet, but it's a good start for Virtus.pro in this eco round of theirs.
Yeah, Deagle still being picked up. Headshots still being landed. It is all about the headshots now with that Desert Eagle, but these guys have all got the aim. Now, what is next for Virtus.pro? Just drying out their opponent now, waiting for that utility to be deployed. paiN Gaming will want to hold on to it for as long as they can. Got a Super Mario Brothers up banana from the T side, forcing paiN Gaming back. Nykytilan creeping now with the Deagle. It gets nervous, doesn't it? The lack of information due to that smoke will have a second player making its way towards the B bomb site, so there'll be a different crossfire now. We'll see if PGL can deliver. He's been in this position before, so he may be expected. Flit jumping to make some space, and how about that Buster with a penetration headshot, and this gives them position of 4 versus 2. Virtus.pro so good at really getting all the juice out of the lemon in rounds like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a huge kill from Buster through the box, like you said. It just seems like it was just expected that why not spam this, because this is a common setup and just gets a free kill off of it. And paiN Gaming are going to be kicking themselves because, again, it's one of those rounds where they really should be able to find massive value from this, get that 8-5 on the board and, you know, really take control of the game. But their economy is getting disrupted by losing this round, and it's going to make it even more difficult.
Once versus Pro get that man advantage, their implied odds, if you will, are really strong, even if they don't have a lot, because they just know how to exploit people in a situation like that. How to drag the crosshairs away, to allow for trade frags, to take space and weaponry. And that keeps the score close versus paiN Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if virtus Pro, you know, keep mixing things up, or if, you know, if we'll see something similar where they, you know, focus on banana control and then kind of slowly go into the top mid take, the usual default stuff. Safi hasn't been too aggressive in these opening rounds just yet. We've seen him play the same position, I think, pretty much almost every time. Buster going down in the effort towards banana, and in fact, we're getting these sort of disjointed plays because of the defensive utility. That incendiary prevented a trade fragger from being able to trade the kill there. PGL has support from Safi, and it's going to work out. They'll be able to trade that one up as well. 4 against 2. Huge edge here for paiN in this round now.
Yeah, this one's going to be harder to convert. And as this is the second last round of the half, I would imagine that unless versus Pro gifted something, and that was close there, they will be holding on to things for the final round to come. Or will they? James heads towards leikkeet to join him towards the B bomb site, and they have to figure it's a 2 versus 2. So I'm sure they'll fancy their chances. If they can get that bomb planted, then and that AWP stays up, then who knows what can happen. Now let's look at leikkeet's angle clearing. You can see BigZera dancing around the pillar. The rotation will surely begin. Now looking for the second one. Down goes BigZera. Nekez trying to buy time for the rotation, but they're still on the A bomb site for some reason. They're only now rotating from top mid, and both leikkeet and James are up. This does not bode well for paiN Gaming.
Disastrous. Absolutely disastrous here for paiN indeed, and it's going to take nothing short of a miracle, I think, to win this battle. The question for virtus Pro is where both players are coming from, but it's a great setup here to play off of one another, and I think all of the information is there. The smoke will cover some ground. Oh, great shot comes through from Hardzal. James now against 2 with the AWP. A fantastic shot. That's one down, one more to go. 9 HP on him, but it doesn't matter. James takes him out, and virtus Pro pick up an unlikely round to tie the score, 7-7.
I feel like a few of their rounds have been unlikely, but some quick maths from versus Pro. We push B, it's a 2 versus 2, and we are better. We know the angles. Again, the clearance from leikkeet, he was very aware of what to expect here. And again, like Nekez he hasn't seen the bomb, that's the problem. leikkeet's the only man peeking. I believe that James had the bomb, so that delays the rotation, allows them to post up with the AWP, and then really pull that round out of the hat. And hey, they may even lead at half-time. Look at the buy we've got here from paiN Gaming. Everything has been depleted from their coffers now. They've got a FAMAS on Safi, and the rest are on pistols unless something's on the floor. So, yeah, I think 7 or 8 rounds from versus Pro on the T side is looking pretty strong. And I think at that point, you'd probably have to favor them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, you know, for both sides. You know, virtus Pro have won a lot of unlikely rounds and squeezed out a lot of value. And if we think back, you know, paiN Gaming lost a pistol, but then converted immediately and didn't lose a single player. So they got the best economic start you can have on the CT side. But with that said, we'll have the banana control coming into play for virtus Pro for very cheap. Obviously, there's very little to contest this with for the paiN Gaming side. So it's really going to be hard for them. The decoy. Dangerous game for leikkeet, looking for openings here. Well, it's not alone anymore, but was on a couple of those peaks.
2 smokes remain. for this CT side.
It's really smart, I was going to say, James, because they can afford to throw those smokes, and that makes it look like they're going into B. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to force any utility out from paiN that might possibly be there. So when finally paiN are trying to have to defend the final push, they've got nothing left.
hardzao in the pit with the final smoke here, as we've got 5-man on road towards, sorry, 4 towards this A bomb site. Could potentially be a wrap towards B, although that's less likely now as Library and the Archer smoked. And paiN Gaming find themselves out of position. Double OP, hardzao in trouble, trying to do what he can in this smoke, but almost caught by James. That's the bomb, but of course James delivers a shotgun. 5v2 now, and it's all about this bomb getting planted, and I think that's going to happen now. Indeed it is, and that should be the death knell for this round as far as paiN Gaming are concerned. There it is. 8 rounds for virtus.pro at halftime. They kept it close and took the lead at the end after finally finishing off paiN Gaming's economy.
Yeah, really huge half from virtus.pro. Again, if you recall the way that the opening rounds went, paiN Gaming, losing the pistol, then they force buy with MP9s, they run down mid, survive with 5 players, upgrade to 5 Galils basically, and I mean you can't get a better start than that. But they were not able to actually capitalize in a few key moments. But there's like maybe 3 rounds where VP came back from behind and managed to win, turning this one around. Has the best chance come and gone for paiN Gaming? We're about to find out as we head into the second half here between these two teams. This is day 1 of the major. It's crazy. It's crazy that we're at a major again.
Yeah, after 2 long years. It's still surreal, the kind of world we live in right now. Very, very strange. Not sure if normal will ever come back in the next 5 years. Who knows?
We just need to go to a new planet.
Yeah, I guess it's Mars, right?
I'm doing my astronaut training right now.
Nice. Well, you're holding your breath in the bath.
Yeah, just watching YouTube videos, that's all. How to survive in space.
It's a nice USP keycut, Scott. And it's a nice defense of this B bomb site. Is this some kind of hard read? Because 4 players are just chilling. And indeed, paiN Gaming are coming straight into their hands. Keycut with the fadeaway HG grenade and 2 HP. He's alive for now. There are those deep flashbangs which will really cause problems for paiN Gaming. They'll never see them coming. Got the boost here for Jane. It's a triangle of doom and they're all falling. Very strong round from virtus.pro. They seem to know exactly what paiN Gaming were going to do and they punished them for it.
Yeah, it's looking like your spike pick sucks.
It may well just do, yeah. I think virtus.pro are in control now.
They are the collective captains now. Can you have like multiple I don't think you can. There can only be 1 captain of the ship.
You could have like some kind of hive mind captain, you know?
I suppose, yeah.
So, I think it's possible.
Either way, paiN Gaming are in a desperate spot, obviously. Only Glocks to work from. And well, there's the PT50. Can't forget that. But this is a round to have some fun here for virtus.pro. Yukindar running down.
This is where paiN Gaming are in a deep water because, again, your local Counter-Strike is not going to give you a team like virtus.pro, who, yes, they made a significant roster change in Sanji, but the structure of the team is still there. It's just a style that changes. The firepower, you could argue, improves. Can't really disagree with that. So, again, just the sheer experience, in terms of the angles they hold, the discipline, it's all going to be a huge problem for paiN Gaming to deal with now on the T side.
Yeah, for sure. It's a tough one. It really is. Inferno is so simple, at this point.
Deceptively simple.
Yeah, its complexity is in its simplicity because it comes down to knowing what the options are for your opponents and what map control and information they have, and sort of understanding, are they going to pick what is the optimal option, or are they going to try to trick us? It comes down to those simple elements that actually, at the pro level, are really complex, because it's the mind games, you know, and anything that's competitive, the mind games become like a very important factor, and I feel like there's a lot of that with Inferno. But Jamie's got that open hands, he's ready for that mid-peak. And it's a 3-player opening on Banana for Virtus.pro. They're taking full control here. They've invested a lot of util. And you can see that paiN Gaming don't actually have an enormous amount left. They've got 4 smokes, but they surely need to retake Banana in the mid-round.
I can't see it. I can't see them taking Banana here.
They kind of have to try.
Yeah, you need to take Banana. I just don't see them being successful versus the likes of Virtus.pro. Nykytilan up close with the MP9, still holding with 3 players, and there is the start of it, and the crossfire begins. And again, the deep water, I think they're starting to realize now, just trying to keep their heads above it, but I feel like they may be overpowered here by Virtus.pro, who start well in round number 18. Full control, my friend, as Pasha might say. Oh, there's an opening kill for the likes of paiN Gaming, 2 versus 4 now as they head towards the B bomb site. I say they, but Nekkers is on long.
Yeah,
he needs to try and make it to CT spawn. I think that may be expected by Kika, who hops over there as well from library. And there's a dance now, but Nekkers, he has to be successful here, and he will be.
Yeah. There's some options coming through here. It does rest in the hands of Buster. And looks like a safe pair of hands indeed. Taking down Safi, Nekkers forced to go beyond the incendiary, and it's going to be traded out by Flit. Good work there by Virtus.pro. I mean, good work by paiN Gaming too to make it look doable, but yeah, we were both looking at that scenario thinking, oh no, paiN Gaming kind of have to, with the positions they have, retake Banana. And so talking about the mind games, they cut noise, so there was enough time for them to have rotated into a timing where they could be taking mid. And for VP, they may have peeled off a B player in that time, thinking that that would be what paiN are doing. So instead, paiN would have run into 2 players as opposed to 3. So that's like the mind games we're talking about. Like, I feel like paiN did the right thing. They just got unlucky there. Ooh, oh my goodness. That's a lot of damage. But they lose Nykytilan at the same time.
Yep. And have a look at that 2-man rotation towards the B bomb site for Virtus.pro, but where are paiN Gaming headed? Towards A, it seems, where Flit is alone. And he has spotted some information now towards that second mid position. And we have Kika making his way back towards the A bomb site. And as things are quiet on B, it seems that Jame will head there as well. So they'll make their rotation back in time, actually. As paiN Gaming is still creeping up close. And up close, oh boy, Flit and Kika are dropped. And now Jame has a decision to make around this AWP. How much risk does he want to take? Suddenly, things have escalated in favor of paiN Gaming. And again, we saw plenty of rounds where Virtus.pro turned things back into their favor, and it seems that paiN Gaming can also do the same.
Yeah, I really like Nykytilan's play in the apartments. But at the same time, if paiN Gaming do find success in this round, they're going to break the economy of EP. And suddenly we're in like a 10-11 type of scoreline if everything goes according to plan. So this round could help paiN equalize this matchup. This is a huge round.
Trying to thwart the initial utility from Virtus.pro. But as we can see, VP have changed their setup on the Banana approach, as paiN Gaming sometimes did on their CT side as well. And now paiN Gaming need to identify what may be going on. But they've got early control in the apartments as well. They do, however, have to find out where James is, because he'll be looking to get a quick kill and fade away at all times.
Yeah, total change of approach. VP are actually just gambling that paiN Gaming are going to just split the A site. They're just gambling on that. They don't have the info to confirm it. That's just how they're set up. And you know what? They may have worked a really good read here. However, the bomb is down in such a way that it suggests to me that there's going to be pressure towards A, and then paiN Gaming will go back and finish on B. So we'll see if that will actually be the case here. Yeah, so they've set up. They have the ability to pressure both sides of the map at this point. They can go either way with the bomb.
They have to wonder though. What is it that Virtus Pro want them to do?
Oh, it's a setup to try to punish an info play with that AWP in mids. And yeah, they're faking into the B site, James.
Well, good luck punishing James. Yeah, he seems very aware of what could be going on here. Just putting the utility out, and that's a big answer to have somebody that deep in that throwing a Molotov at this timing. Tells quite the story, and we've got a flank from Kika now, who finds himself at bottom mid as the short push comes through. James, oh, that's a big whiff from him. He's still got 3 targets, though.
They can effectively pressure either side of the map and get rotation advantage, and that's what happens. But they still struggle even after some good openings to actually hold the A site. So that's very unfortunate for paiN. And as mentioned, you know, that was a great moment for them to destroy the economy for VP. But VP in a good spot. Nice run boost for Yekendar, get him a quicker timing there towards this banana position. And once again, we're getting more of an exchange here for control. And that kind of middle, behind the half wall smoke, I think Carrigan was the first player that started throwing that. And it's quite a good smoke to kind of remove the value of the deep nades from the CTs. Yekindar with the run boost again. Oh. Falls away, doesn't get any opportunities. So tentative around banana. I'm surprised no one's died yet.
Sound has been cut. Oh, nice timing there from Safi. And will they push through these grenades? It seems they will. That HG grenade could be meaty. Buster hiding at the back. He's got a teammate Kika rotating towards the coffins now, who seems he would have been the initial engager. He'll show presence at the very least and maybe try and run distraction. Buster has a shallow peek, spots Safi, but he can't quite make a fatal connection. Kika will finish off the job. Now they're in the pool area as we've got the CTs coming in from all directions, and they're going down one by one. paiN Gaming HGs towards the pool as they try and find some cover, a place to chill in that banana position now. 3 versus 3 as Kika continues to press on forward. And how about that for a flashbang? Not quite hitting the mark there, but James creeping slowly. They know one's on banana. We've got a boost behind the smoke, and James will become even more important. Down goes Kika. James got to speed up, but it's too late. Everybody else has fallen, and paiN Gaming will make it to 9, and James will save the AWP.
Yeah, what a great setup there from paiN Gaming. Nice finish on the B sites. And they're not done just yet. Whenever I feel like a team might be beginning to lose grip, they find that grip again. They've been on those gorilla grippers, whatever they're called.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, I used to use those, but could never get the consistency behind that grip training. I like to hang from things instead. But there we go.
G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. Method Man lyrics.
Good old Method Man.
UFC Fighting Championships. It works, even though it doesn't make sense. That's the next line of his lyrics.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, are we just saying out of context random
UFC fighting championships. G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. You got to know your Wu-Tang, Dan.
It's true. I'm not up to speed on the Wu-Tang just yet. I'll have to attend some workshops. Catch me up to speed.
Jame has the AWP. Let's look at Jame. This round is a Jame round. He needs to try and kill everybody, and that's why he's going deep. Quick look, doesn't outstay his welcome, doesn't want to be swung on from bottom mid. We'll take a brief risk, and he's around a boiler position, Jame. Looking towards the apartments. Some presence on Banana in the meantime, but the rest of VP have to stay alive. They've got smokes, and that's about it. Everything else is irrelevant, apart from Jame and AWP. So they'll try and contain paiN Gaming on the T side of the choke points while Jame tries to get to work. And we can see that bigazera and niko are getting closer and closer to the apartments, but for now Jame will be, I won't say passive, but a bit further back on shorts. And that is such a tight shot from Safi, and not quite working as virtusPro had intended, but there is still a potential sandwich here. hardzewoo will get popped by Yakinda, and now Safi's alone, and he's got to fall back because you don't want to like take a risk, get pinched, die with the AWP. He has to fall back, which means Yakinda collects an AK-47 on the B bomb site, and Jame is still here with the sniper on A.
Yeah, paiN Gaming can just reset the scenario here. It's like, you press the big reset button, you cut noise, and then the CTs who've acted upon the information and set themselves up, you can see 3 on A. At a certain point, they'll be forced to go back to a default kind of setup, like maybe a 2-2, or like they'll stay gambled, 3 on A. And we can see that's what's happening right now. We get the reinforcements coming towards the B site. paiN Gaming need to make this one work out. Yakinda with that AK-47 picked up at the back of the site, looking to put up a performance here. Oh, the smokes make things difficult, but Keycut's going to go down. The trades are looking quite favorable here for virtusPro right now. Safi and bigazera, all that's left, and looks like they're going to be able to finish off the frags. That's going to be the round.
My God. Did they win by a timeout?
I believe they did.
I think they did. There was so much chaos, I didn't even have time to look at the clock, ironically. But speaking of timing, it's pretty sick that Yakinda is able to stay alive there. They basically, I think they may have had one guy with a USP sacrifice through the smoke for the first distraction. Then they've got Jame hop up with a boost. Then they've got to be careful of the boost. Yakinda just swinging through that smoke, still at the back. And again, they just go deeper. They just go deeper. They have more depth virtusPro, and they find themselves on 13 rounds.
Maybe this is the last stand here for paiN Gaming. They've got to buy. They can spend all their money, and it's going to look pretty good. One of the issues is that I feel like you definitely need to try to have full utility if you can, because virtusPro have been... they're going to get the advantage on the map control early on if they decide to go for the banana takes. But in fact, they've only got two towards the banana side, and they haven't decided to invest util in taking this. So paiN Gaming are actually going to be really far behind on util going into the mid round. So that's where VP are going to be able to take advantage by having util for info plays, util for retaking positions. That's where I would expect virtusPro to take a lead in this position. Look at the pop flash setup though for Yakinda. It's going to be falling back. Oh, great nade coming through. So there it is. Banana control effectively for paiN Gaming despite not leaving somebody there. They know that it's clear right now. And VP stack 4 towards A. Looking for the splits onto this A side. They didn't leave anybody towards banana right now. They kind of are committed into this A site. They're getting really slowed down here.
Oh, can you really Turn back now. I guess they have to. That is going to be a long wait. They were short on time in the previous round towards B bomb site. They'll be short on time here on A as well. Flick, he can block through the smoke, but he will get killed through that smoke actually. But Jaime is still holding things down on the bomb site. 10 seconds to plant that bomb. Will there be a push through the smoke? Nek is keeping an eye on long now, as that is the main threat. But Virtus.pro will play the long game with their mana advantage. Jakinda moving up short now. Will give them some angles towards the graveyard at least. Spotting Nek is around that pit position. How do they pick the right places to peak paiN Gaming? We've got some grenades to come through as well. There are still flashes for Virtus.pro as Nekiz does his best. All three in a short area now. Has this been identified? Angles held with the AWP. 16 seconds on that bomb. Buster looking to move forward. The grenades are here. He's got to look away. Safi, he's lost his angle now. Lost Nekiz as well. 1 versus 2. Is anyone on the bomb just yet? Trying to find it now, but he's lost his angle. Is there time to defuse it? I think there is if he's got a defuse kit. No, he hasn't. They gotta go.
Wow. paiN Gaming come away with that one. That is incredible. That is incredible. Okay, now we really, I mean, it really feels like they have a solid shot here. The issue, obviously, you know, losing all of the money, they're not going to have a buy here, a good buy with full utility. So Virtus.pro decide to take early map control. paiN Gaming are not going to have the ability to contest that with their own utility, and they're not going to really have a good option to retake it as well. So they're in a very difficult position. I'm really curious whether Virtus.pro will realize that they can get a lot of free map control here, or at least very cheaply they can get a lot of map control in this round. Oh man, this is going to be a tough round for paiN Gaming, but if they win it, James, they bust the economy for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, the score is close. We must observe this. We must recognize this. This is a very big round for paiN Gaming. Very big round. The same can be said for Virtus.pro as well. I would imagine they would start to feel nervous in a best of one should they lose this one by elimination as well.
I like how VP used their take on Banana as like a reactive take, so that they're not wasting utility. Oh, but look how quick this pushes through apartments, and they're ready to go. Flick goes down. Kiko stuck at the back of the site. They should surely be ready for this position.
Oh, why is he alone though?
It's down one. The trade's through, and the bomb is planted.
Yeah, I think that could have been done better for paiN Gaming, just pushing onto the site alone, but they do get a trade frag anyway. And I said, what if they won this by elimination? That likely won't be the case. Buster and Jaime with the AWP. An AWP on the CT side of Inferno, even just the AWP, can do so much if your teammates are disciplined and have smokes like we saw previously. Buster has the M4 to go with that AWP. So this is still extremely dangerous. And Virtus.pro are certainly the stronger team overall, regardless of who wins this, I would say. So they can do a lot with this. Like, do not underestimate what can be done with these two weapons. But what they do with the rest of their money is a question that we'll soon have answered as well.
Yeah, and I love the decision to pop holes like they did, because you could see that VP were playing, again, the reactive kind of map control take for Banana. So they committed a lot of players towards Banana, expecting paiN to challenge that in that round with like a delayed challenge. And then paiN Gaming, they were just walking apps. They were going to pop apps the whole time. And because they didn't have much util, they kind of have to find the value in the numbers. They have to find the value in the pace. And they did that. And the holes option was great. And look at the position they're in. We talked about it. Economy's kind of busted for Virtus.pro. They've got the hero AWP that was saved, as well as that M4. But what do VP do? They don't have... They're not going to be able to invest in a lot of util for map control. So really, I mean, this is... I guess the focus is really on paiN Gaming, James. So they're going to optimally play this round with their util and shut down Virtus.pro's chances.
Another huge round. It's very easy to capitulate and lose a round such as this, when you have so much opportunity ahead of you. Got a vintage boost to look down towards the ramp. Oh, Safi spotted something. Man, I'm afraid for paiN Gaming while Jaime has the AWP. for sure. But let's not forget, we saw a push towards B earlier on in an advantageous round where Yakinda was able to collect an AK-47. So who knows what could happen here. Got to be real careful now. Looking to seize the opportunity. James being smoked out, trying to deploy some grenades in the meantime. Flit hiding on the site, and he can play off of his teammate. But he's only got the USP, but that might just be enough. Maybe not.
Great calling coming through from paiN Gaming right now, able to finish off this round with that A-side control.
Oh, he's gone too far. Why?
Yeah, he's gone really deep there. He's given up an AK.
He's given up an AWP, I think.
I believe James had that already.
Yeah, but he died on long. So
maybe that was it. Maybe he's trying to make sure that they couldn't get control to take the AWP away. And he's given up the AK.
You can't afford to do that, man.
I like the approach from paiN Gaming there once again though, because again they go for this apartment space play, knowing that the AWP was last spotted on the A site, and they don't overcomplicate things. They've got the set piece to come through. The best that James could get would really be one kill, but James gets stuck behind the smoke on Moto, so he wasn't able to do anything there. And they have the site and the bomb planted, so they've basically done everything they need to secure the round at that point. So again, great protocols from paiN Gaming, like you said, James. It can be quite difficult in those spots sometimes. You can get in your own head, oh, how do we play against the AWP? We're really worried. You get too worried about the AWP on the other team, and you just start making mistakes. They did a good job there, and VP, they got a lot of guns.
Yeah, they've got a good buy now. And that AWP will make a hell of a difference. 3 towards Banana. They go back to utility. Those are some big, chunky grenades. Great timing from paiN Gaming, and Virtus Pro now will wonder what is safe to do in the rounds to come. We'll see how many are left, but that's a good start for paiN Gaming. It is about how you finish, and I am focusing on the underdog here because they have managed to keep the score close. I expected Virtus Pro would start to pull away from it, but just as Virtus Pro did to paiN Gaming are doing a similar thing, but I think it's a lot harder for them to achieve these goals versus a team as strong as Virtus Pro.
Yeah, your spike pick is back in. Back in again. It's gone from absolute rubbish to on the up again. Like, you know.
If VP lose this game, so many pick'ems are going to be bodied. Astralis lost their game, of course, so that's going to be a problem. And Safi's been really good with these entry frags with the AWP. This angle in particular, he's got many of them, and now heads towards the coffins where Yakinda is. There is a flashbang, though, and Safi will be dealt with, and no one can answer for that.
Yeah, that's such a big stoppage right there. And you can see that it looks like they're going to try to commit behind this one, get the follow-up kill on Kika, but the response... 2 kills in response from Virtus Pro. That's done a lot of damage. And they're knocking at the door already. The leg shot through the smoke, adding insult to injury. At least the bomb is planted and ticking away. But, man, Virtus Pro are ready to coordinate this push forward. They know where these positions are as well, and they will finish off the job.
That was a massive bait from James. Holding an off angle, scoping in and out deliberately to try and bait PKL to peek him when he had his teammate boosted, and that makes things even easier for them. And again, the just awareness from Virtus Pro and the depth there to just make their life a little bit easier. Huge bait, and that brings them to 14 rounds. Now, there is money for paiN Gaming. We will see a full buy coming their way. Going into the clutch rounds now here in this best of one. Feels like the last map of a series.
Yeah. We're actually quite blessed on the B stream here so far, and so yeah, this has been great. The matches that we've had, very back and forth. You feel like it's going to go one way, and then it just keeps on surprising you. And I wonder what the next surprise is going to be here in this matchup, because of course we're very close to the end. You know, I feel like the surprise would be for paiN Gaming to like bring it back a couple rounds, but. Again, their economy is just, it's totally ravaged after this buy. They've got nothing left in the tank. If paiN Gaming lose this round, the odds are very strong that they will lose this map. So this is an important one again. We've had a lot of these kind of, I feel like pivotal moments. This is one of those.
There's 2 players on banana now. YEKINDAR with a cheeky peek, able to escape with it. Some early info. Just wanting to make sure there's no super fast round coming from paiN Gaming, but VP will send a 3rd player towards this B bomb site early. Maybe for the utility, maybe as a just in case. Now paiN Gaming find themselves their entirety on banana. That is a grenade. That's almost 150 damage.
That's crazy. And they're going to make their way forward. paiN Gaming executing the push into that B site. Can they make it happen? Looking for the distance. And so far they're getting slowed down. Still a fighting chance here. Buster sneaking behind the smoke. I don't know if they have any idea about Buster as they try to make their way forward for this bomb plant. It's just not working out. The trades through from BigZera. hardzao goes down as well, and Safi is on the run.
Do you know what this is? Complexity versus Very Games.
Wow.
Like,
what a throwback.
What, 7 years ago?
Oh, wow.
Roughly 7 years ago, but there's more time on the clock here. But it's essentially the play.
Do they realize that it's going to be a plant on the other side? They should, but maybe it won't. Will they have connected the dots here? They're not connecting the dots just yet. Now they realize, but BigZera's in a great... Oh. James was ready for that.
He's always going to do that, isn't he?
Oh, but look at Safi go aggressive here. I love this.
Oh, library off angle. Library off angle. Oh, just a library angle, but now it's Safi versus James, and things become very, very interesting indeed as James manages to... What? Did he hit him? Oh, no, he didn't hit him. Well, he's going to try and defuse this bomb. He found himself with another smoke grenade, looking for it now. And Safi, you've just got to push through. He hasn't got time. Surely, if you just push through and commit to it. What?
Unbelievable. Wait, he got the defuse?
He got it. He got it. Yeah, it's just the HUD. Ignore that.
HUD got me.
paiN Gaming won the round. paiN Gaming won the round. He got the kill. He got
the
kill.
I thought he got the kill.
Yeah, he got the kill.
I'm getting mixed messages here, man. I'm getting all the information.
Our sound is a little low, so we can't hear
all the fake news.
Terrorists win. But
what's
hey,
real?
It'll improve as the day goes on. So don't worry about it.
I don't even know what to trust.
It's entertaining.
Who could I trust, James?
It's entertaining. What's happening?
Can't trust anything. There's no independent journalism anymore.
Yeah.
It's all lies.
What is the truth anyway?
All right, let's have that.
We'll find out on Donald Trump's new network, his social network.
Yeah. Let's talk about epistemology. I'm ready. The study of knowledge. Anyway, the study of who can shoot each other in the face more resumes. paiN Gaming on the up and up by those paiN Gaming stonks. We've got James looking for that aggressive pick down mid, finds nothing. Not a lot of ult mid play coming through early in the round from paiN Gaming so far in their defaults. YEKINDAR, we've seen this pop flash setup before. Now if he goes down, they may be committed into the site. Oh, he's going to get the pick. Massive pick from YEKINDAR, and that's a gun. That's an upgrade.
Yeah, just got to mix things up sometimes. And they did that in both directions. Again, James going down mid, having a look towards second mid. And then just having a different configuration on the B bomb site, and that can be successful. And this is where Virtus.pro really come into their own. These are the edges and the margins where they just go a little further than paiN Gaming. The Brazilians will have to do it the hard way now, as Virtus.pro are one round away from match point, and the money is very low for paiN Gaming. If they lose this round, maybe they lose the match as well.
So hang on, James, like, well, where's the top mid take? paiN Gaming, they could be rotating back to B right now. So that's what you can see, the CT rotation is respecting that. And that's what they're feeling. They're really feeling that as the read, but they're actually resetting into the horse pop, and the horse pops have been good. Is there going to be a flash to get James off this angle? Oh, it doesn't matter. I mean, I think there was maybe a flash, but James was not blinded. But they'll get the opening regardless. Bomb sent down for the plant, and it's a 2 versus 4. It's going to be tough, but there's a chance.
Got YEKINDAR coming in from the back, looking to make his way into the apartments. And again, it will have to be done the hard way. 2 versus 4. A must-win round for paiN Gaming, and PKL looks the wrong way. That leaves hardzao now trying to make some space. He has to take the fight to them. Deep in the corner alone. I don't see how he survives this. Everybody else coming from short though. He's halfway there. Oh! Can he really get a last one as well? Buster 1 versus 1 on the box. hardzao, I can't believe he's done this. That was a must-win for paiN Gaming. What an overperformance.
This Hearts Out guy is so sick. Oh. Oh my god, that looked unwinnable. Would you look at this again? Just savage. He's in the corner, he's got nowhere to go. He has to hit every single shot. I don't even know if he has any bullets left right here at the end, but he certainly finds a headshot anyway.
Holy potatoes. That is the only way paiN Gaming stay in this game. And look at what this situation has created. Virtus.pro have got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I'm just an instant fan. I'm just pressing that subscribe button on Hardzal's content, wherever it is.
Virtus.pro currently in a knife fight holding spoons.
Oh, that's so... James, Hardzal has put paiN Gaming in a position to win this match with that insane clutch. I can't believe what we just saw.
That is like a 3% situation.
Yeah.
But sometimes that 3% comes through.
That was cold. That was like a vintage coldzera moment right there from Hardzal. Been performing all game long, and now we've got Virtus.pro on this save. Now the question is for paiN Gaming, are they going to be able to prevent very unhappy accidents from happening here? Moving into the stack, into this B site, keeping things simple, but again, this can be very scary. Oh no!
My days.
This is what you didn't want to see. Big Zera is the only one left, and I mean, they've got 3 players. They can cover everything. He's been spotted.
He's got to move quickly. He's got to move quickly. 20 seconds on the clock. We've got to keep an eye on that as well. Buster with the AK-47. Surely he can't do this. What a disaster. Oh, man. After what they did in the last round. Oh, their money. No.
I don't want to say that there has been a trend that these pistol rounds are quite successful. And I don't want to say that there's been so many twists, unexpected twists in this game, including that Hardzal clutch, that there's an argument to be made here. Because it's dire. Let's just call it what it is. It's absolutely dire here for paiN Gaming. The most brutal ending possible.
There's no way. There is no way they win this round.
Yeah, it would take... I mean, this is where you expect the experience to work out in Virtus.pro's favor. And we're looking like a clean banana take is going to be a very solid start. A very convincing answer. The best seems to have come and gone for paiN Gaming here.
Man, it's going to be a hard pill to swallow, this one.